Hello folks and welcome to Paddock Pass, your post-race edition for the 2017 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And as you can see, the sun has set. There's one driver left in the pen, that's Valtteri Bottas, so that's already given away one of the positions. At the end of what was an incredible day, I'm absolutely exhausted and I'm not sure I can sum up that Grand Prix in an easily digestible form. However, I will try. Lewis Hamilton led from pole, Sebastian Vettel started from fourth, and a pretty crazy race ensued after that, in which Lewis led, Seb was second, we had safety cars, there was contact, Force India drivers collided with one another. And then something really odd happened behind the safety car. Lewis Hamilton slowed down for the safety car restart. Sebastian Vettel went into the back of him. Sebastian Vettel then decided to drive alongside Lewis Hamilton and gesticulate to him as if to say, "What were you doing?" As he did that, he drove into Lewis Hamilton. Race was red flagged. Sebastian Vettel would be given a 10-second stop-go penalty for dangerous driving, but Lewis Hamilton, his headrest came undone, so he had to come into the pits because the car was dangerous, get a new headrest fitted in the car, and he lost more time with that than Seb did through his penalty, ultimately pitching Lewis behind Seb and both of them towards the back of the field. What that did was that left Daniel Ricciardo, who had started 10th but fallen back to 17th because he had to take an early pit stop because his brakes were almost gone. Daniel Ricciardo somehow found himself leading the race. In second place was Lance Stroll. Third place was Valtteri Bottas, who'd had contact on lap 1 with Kimi Raikkonen and had lost a lap on the opening lap. Somehow Valtteri found himself third, screaming after Lance Stroll, took him on the line by that much. So it was Ricciardo who won. It was Bottas who came second. Who came third? Stroll. Stroll came third on one of the craziest days that we can remember in Formula One. It was a great afternoon. It was completely insane, with one of the most unexpected winners of this or any season. What a day.
Give me a hug. Give me a hug.
Unbelievable.
Insane, right?
Lance, this, as you said, insane. This is insane. From your first points to your first podium, has this sunk in? Does it feel real yet?
No, it doesn't. Just such a special day. Words can't really describe it. It was the race. I mean, it was probably one of the greatest races in Formula One history. There was a red flag, there was carnage, but we just kept it clean. You know, I think that was the key today. I just kept a cool head, stayed out of trouble, and took it to the end. So it was great.
Some lovely words from Rob Smedley on the radio afterwards, because you drove such a measured race, such a composed, mature race, while it was craziness everywhere else. Are you disappointed that you weren't second, or does it not matter?
For sure, you always want to be in the best possible position you can be, but I did everything I could to hold off Valtteri. I was giving 100% every lap, and here giving 100% means that you always have that risk of touching a wall or getting it wrong, and there's no room to really get it wrong, so you have to kind of balance out the risk and reward. But I really gave it all, and he was just a bit too quick for me with the DRS open on that last straight. So I'm still over the moon with P3. I mean, a podium is absolutely incredible.
Listen, man, 3.5 years ago you were making your single-seater debut. With me, out in Florida. I was a lot slower than you, obviously, because...
Well, you taught me a few things. I used it today in the race.
Yeah? I have no idea what. I have no idea. Probably what not to do. But mate, from there, 3.5 years ago, you're taking your first steps in single-seaters. Now you're a Formula One podium finisher, the youngest rookie in history to do that. What does it mean to you, man?
Can we talk about it tomorrow over Skype? I don't know, man. It's just so special. It's just so amazing. You dream about this, growing up as a kid. This is. I mean, there are other dreams, world champion, all that stuff. Just getting to Formula One in general. There's so many things, but a podium is so special, and everything that comes with it, the youngest and all that, it's just the cherry on top. And I'm just really gonna enjoy the moment.
Soak it up, enjoy it. From last place and a lap down at the end of the first lap to second. Is this one of the most unexpected races you've ever had?
I think it is definitely. It was a crazy race, and for me, being one lap down, the team told me to just keep the head down, keep pushing, and so I did, and I didn't give up. I just kept going, and always trying to calculate risks and kept pushing, and especially in the end, once I got through Ocon, there was still a small possibility to get Lance, and just tried to do every single corner, every single lap perfectly, and got him as well in the end. So it's just a crazy race with so much things happening, and I think we definitely lost good opportunity today to get another 1-2 as a team and get more gap to Ferrari, but with the circumstances after lap 1, for me this is really good result.
Regardless of what could have happened with the 1-2, you've still extended your gap over Ferrari. Does that show what a crazy day this was?
Yeah, this is racing, and like I've always said, you never know, anything can happen in the race, so it's good that we got more points than Ferrari, so we can leave here, well, not completely satisfied, but not totally grumpy either, so go to Austria next.
It was you and Kimi again. It's always you and Kimi. Why is that?
It's just unlucky, I think, I don't know what to say, I just wasn't left with any space inside, and I had to go over the curb. I didn't want to slow down too much, because then everyone would go past me, and just tried to carry speed over the curb and couldn't keep the line anymore. There was no space for 2 cars on the racing line. We hit. It's a shame. It's again me and Kimi. It's just unlucky, but we've been always racing for the similar position, so that's why.
P10 to a boot full of foot juice and champagne. Yeah, unexpected. How mega was it? How sweet did it taste?
It was good. The victory was nice, and yeah, P10 we started, but we actually had an unscheduled pit stop. I think lap 5 or something early, and the brakes were going crazy, and I think we had some debris. So the team's like, box, you got to box this lap, and I was like, when you hear it like that, I was like, race is over, something's wrong. And anyway, that dropped us back to 17th, and then we won. So crazy. Obviously, there was a lot of chaos in front, but capitalised on restarts, always moved forward, and made the most of the opportunities they had. And I personally couldn't do more today, and fortunate it put me in the front seat.
How do you temper that want to take positions back with the kind of not going over the top and ending up in the wall?
Look, the mentality was kind of just, my mindset was go forward. Like 10th was already bad enough, let alone 17th. So I was kind of just like, if I see a gap, I'm going. If we put it in the wall, we put it in the wall. Like, we're not going to lose that much in the position we're in. So yeah, I was kind of just seeing red and going for it.
Was it enjoyable as it looked?
Very enjoyable. I was having a blast even when I was 5th. When we had the red flag, I was 5th at the time, and I was like, man, this is so much fun. So yeah, then I won, so it was even more fun. Thanks.
So that's your top 3, all of them suitably delighted with their afternoon's work. 2 drivers who weren't so delighted with those that came home in 4th and 5th position. They were Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton. We managed to speak to Lewis in the pen. Sebastian was so unhappy that he ended up leaving the pen early, but we managed to grab hold of him down in the paddock afterwards, just before he started talking to the print press. It's quite interesting to see the change between the two of them, certainly the difference between the two of them. Lewis really unhappy with the move that Seb put on him. Seb, I'll let you make your own minds up about it. Was he admitting culpability for hitting him, or was he saying that I just gesticulated at him? I still can't tell, because it seemed that we struggled to get a straight answer. Lewis, a race lost through no fault of your own, a mistake, surely, with just that headrest. How do you cope with that? How do you deal with that after putting in a pretty faultless afternoon?
Yeah, it's definitely difficult, but I think that's difficult for all of us as a team, and I think the most important thing is I gather my thoughts and try to lead this team through the adversity, and that's really my job. I think the team, we all feel the pain. It's obviously not something we want. Looking at the positives, we had fantastic pace throughout the weekend. Just a little bit unfortunate, I think, as a team today, but we still got a 2nd and a 5th. I think we more team points than the Ferraris, which I think is a positive to take from it, and we just have to look onwards and upwards.
The decision to use safety car rather than VSC, it seemed under safety car you're about 20 seconds off Delta. How difficult was it getting brakes up to temperature for the all-important restarts?
It was really difficult today. I don't know why, but it looked from the car that the safety car driver was not driving flat out. So, which is a bit strange, but it just puts us a little bit more in harm's way when we already struggle with these tyres that they, the FIA have asked for these kind of tyres, and they don't work, and we've said that they struggle to work at those temperatures, and it just makes it difficult for us. And then if you see on one safety car restart is dangerous and people are shunting that you need another one, and then another one and you see it, surely you should learn from those experiences and realize, you know, particularly if there's not a car on track, which I think maybe the third one or second one it was, whichever one it was, there was just debris on the track. I think that should have been to avoid issues, should have just been VSC, could have slowed down. But anyways, it is what it is, and I'm sure they'll learn from it and try to improve for next time.
Can't let you go without asking you about something which we're going to talk about. I'm sure it'll be a defining moment of the season. What happened between you and Sebastian behind the safety car, with him alongside you, making contact. Ultimately, he got a penalty for dangerous driving, yet still finished ahead of you. Are you happy with the decision? Are you happy with how that has been handled? And does that set a precedent going forward?
It definitely sets a precedent, I think, not only for... It sets a precedent within Formula One. I think it also does for all the young kids that are watching us Formula One drivers drive and conduct ourselves. They've seen today how a four-time world champion behaves, and I think hopefully that doesn't ripple into the younger categories. In terms of how things are penalised, how you can do something like that and then still finish fourth, I think it's, I don't know. I've not really thought too much about it since. I just tried as hard as I could to get back up, but obviously it's, not a great day in that sense.
Does it change the way you fight him from now on? Does it change how you go into those moments?
I don't know. Again, it's only just happened, so I've got to think about it. Whatever, I'm going to be pushing as hard as I can, just as I have been, so I'll give it everything I've got.
If we can talk through the moment that may come to define this season, what happened between you and Lewis behind the safety car?
Well, I think you saw.
Well, we saw first there was contact from behind. Do you feel that Lewis was driving too slowly?
Well, no, the leader dictates the pace, but we were exiting the corner, he was accelerating, and then he braked so much that I was braking as soon as I saw, but I couldn't stop in time and ran in the back of him. I think that was just not necessary.
And then there was the moment in which you hit him from the side. Lewis says this sets a dangerous precedent, not just for Formula One, but also for kids coming through the sport.
Well, I think, Formula One is for grown-ups. I think, as I said, the maneuver before was not necessary, and obviously damaged my front wing, damaged also his rear, I think, a little bit. So I think that was just not the right way to do it, exiting the corner, accelerating, and then braking. I don't think there was any point of doing that.
Was the contact deliberate on your front?
When I ran into the back of him?
No, when you ran in from the side.
Well, I drove alongside, and then we had a little contact, but I drove alongside mostly to raise my hand, and I didn't give him a finger or anything. I just, wanted to tell him, because I can't literally talk to him, that was not right.
So was it deliberate or not?
Well, the way raising the hand.
No, the contact.
Well, I don't think it was very deliberate for him to brake check me. I don't think he's that kind of guy, but obviously that's what it turned out to be, and that's what he did, so I wasn't happy with that.
Do we take lack of answer on that then, that it was deliberate?
Well, his brake check maneuver.
No, that your move on him was deliberate.
Well, I drove alongside him, as I said, and raised my hand to say, that's not the way to do it, because obviously in that moment, I damaged my front wing. I think he paid a price as well by having slight damage to his car as well. So I think in the end, I don't agree with the penalty that I got, because if you penalise us, or if you penalise me, then you should penalise both of us, because it was not the way to do it.